Hey everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Reese. I'm one of the traders here at tradercobb, and in today's video I'm just going to run through the top 10 for Bybit. Now I understand that some of you may be currently in the Bybit free webinar series that we're doing, so if you are, well done. I'll do my best to explain some of the things that you've learned already in this video. But basically I'm just going to run through the top 10. I'll start on the weekly time frame and work my way down and discuss what I'm looking at in terms with price action and the moving averages and things like that, MACD, convergence, divergence, which you've already learned. And I'll also point out some possible trading opportunities if they are there, and yeah, we'll go from there. So first things first, weekly Bitcoin. All right. Also, sorry, before I get started, if you do have any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat box and I'll answer them. I do tend to get a little bit in depth with some of the charting, so I sort of get a little bit distracted and don't focus on the chat, but yeah, I'll keep doing that. I'll focus on that. G'day Winston and Bobby. All right, so Bitcoin weekly. It looks really good. All right, so when we talk about price action and cyclicity, this is what we're looking for: a clear set of higher highs, higher lows, higher high, and hopefully a higher low. That's what we're talking about. And when we're talking about convergence and divergence, well, look here, MACD is doing the same. We've got I'll see if I can use this pen. There we go, high high matches up with this high high. This high, oh yeah, so then this high high matches up with that high high. So we're convergent, right? That's what we mean when we talk about that. All right, so yeah, Bitcoin weekly, in my opinion, we've broken through this support resistance line, which was our previous all-time high at around the $60,000 mark. Which is a pretty big psychological number. We've broken through that. We've had a nice daily close below that. So what does that mean? To me, that means that the next point that I see of significance would be around the $55,000 mark, which is where I've got this line here. If we can get a nice pullback to that with a nice daily candle, then that's something we could definitely focus on. And yeah, like it will just open the doors to some long trades. Now, if we go down the time frame, we'll have a look at the daily and see if there's anything there, which I don't think there will be. As you can see, like the weekly was looking really good, but the further down the time frames you go, it might get a little bit messy because at the moment it is going through a pullback on the weekly. So this daily will present sort of a series of lower highs and lower lows, like it has here: lower low, lower high, lower low. So on the daily, we're in a downtrend. On the weekly, we're in an uptrend. I tend to focus on the higher time frames, especially the daily and the weekly, and I trend in the direction that they're going. You just have a higher probability of that trade working out. So to be honest, at the moment, I'm sitting on the sideline and just waiting for Bitcoin to decide what it's doing. And for me, I'm waiting for it to pull back to around this $55,000 level, where if you look in the past, still on this drawing tool, in the past it has sort of broken through that level. It's tested, it's just played around this level in the past, test. So yeah, what I'd like to see is it to pull back to that on the weekly, and then yeah, definitely it will open the door for some long trades on these lower time frames. So the daily for me is out. The trends not really there, the price action's not there, it's just not smooth and clear. And if it's not clear, it's not there, right? 8 hour is the same, it's a little bit messy. We go down these time frames, let's have a look at the 1 hour. See, the further down you go, the messier it gets. If you can't clearly see higher highs and higher lows, if you're really struggling to find them, then it's not smooth price action, it's just not great trading opportunity or great trading conditions, sorry. So I tend to steer clear. It's all about probabilities. And if the probabilities aren't in your favor, then I'm definitely steering clear of that trade. So yeah, lower time frames is a mess on Bitcoin. We can have a look at the 15, but yeah, it's a mess. I know some of you like to trade these lower time frames, but look, if it's there, then I'm definitely open to it. But at the moment, like, imagine trying to trade this. It's a mess. It's just, yeah, it's not worth even looking. So yeah, for me, it's the weekly on Bitcoin, waiting for a nice clean pullback. All right, I'm glad I worked and transferred successfully. All right, nice one. And all right, cool. ETH weekly, same as Bitcoin, really strong looking, momentum to the upside. We've got a series of higher highs and higher lows, higher high. Now I'm waiting for a higher low to form on the weekly, which would be good, but it looks like we're testing or playing around this level of 42,000, which was our all-time high, sort of last, when was that? In May. So we've broken through that. If we get a nice pullback and a nice level sitting on there, then yeah, that would be good. But as you can see, it's also convergent as well with the MACD. We go down these time frames. Let's have a look at the daily. And we did get some nice cyclicity coming in with higher highs and higher lows. It started to get a bit messy around here, which is where I've had this level drawn in. So as it approached that level, it got messy. It started moving sideways. It tested that level a few times. We had a series of big red, big green candles as well, which to me shows a lot of buying pressure and then a lot of selling pressure. Buying pressure, selling pressure. It's hard to trade conditions like that. You need the nice smooth, so you know the direction that trend is going. So once we busted through that level, we did get a pullback onto there, and then it looked like the trend started coming back. But then around the 15th of November, we had a big sell-off. Now that big sell-off means it could just be a pullback on this weekly chart like we spoke about, but now it's still sitting around this level, and again, similar to what happened here, we're just getting a series of big green candles, big red candles. It's very hard to trade those conditions. If we have a look at the 4 hour, those big green candles and those big red candles just look like this on the 4 hour, right? So there's no real higher highs or higher lows. It's just, a mess. That's all it is a mess. So in my opinion, yeah, it's a waiting game on ETH as well. We just need to wait for nice trends to come back, like we sort of did back through here, probably on the 8 hour time frame, where it's clear set of higher highs and higher lows. That's when we start trending, because we know we can easily predict the direction of the price. So yeah, that's my thoughts on ETH. XRP on the weekly. Right, so XRP is a bit of a funny one. We've had this higher high and higher low. Now, we haven't really broken this high, have we? We've sort of tested this level, the 1.35. We've tested here, and we've tested again. So that, to me, shows that there's a lot of resistance there, or a lot of sell orders, and a lot of sellers sitting there to push that price back down. So technically it's in a bit of a sideways trend, right? So we've got this higher low and then a lower high. So the weekly is going to be hard to trade. The daily is just a mess. It's, it's sideways. It's almost textbook sideways, right? So we don't really have a series of higher highs and higher lows. It's just sideways. If we scroll out a bit and look on this daily chart, might go back a bit further. No. So, yeah, it always pays to look left, right? So it's come up, it's tested this level, not perfectly, but it's a region, right? There's probably some sell orders or buy orders sitting there. It's come down, it's tested that region again, it's broken through, it's tried again here, eventually broken through, tried, and just sat on that level, and then sat on that level the whole way through here. Now remember that each one of these candles is a day, is one whole day. So it spent a lot of time sitting on this level. So what's it doing now? It's sitting right on that level. So I'm steering clear of XRP. There's no trading opportunities for me. There's no real direction on this daily. So it's hard to trade these lower time frames if you don't have a direction on the daily. So yeah, I'm staying clear of that until we either get a break to the upside or break to the downside. If we get a break to the downside, yeah, I'm more than happy to short that. We just need some direction to come in on the daily. Let's have a look at this 4 hour. Gets even worse. 1 hour. Yeah, very sideways. Low, high, lower, low, higher, high. Like it's, yeah, very sideways. So if you are trading this market, good luck. That's all I can say. Good luck with it. You might like to trade these lower time frames, but again, like trading is a probability game, and if we have no direction on the daily, no direction really on these mid time frames, then the probabilities just aren't in your favor. ADA. The weekly on ADA. Now there isn't that much data on this Bybit contract for ADA. We don't really have a trend on the daily, on the weekly, sorry, but we do have a lot of movement to the downside, right, on the weekly. So if we go to the daily, hopefully we can see some trend coming in. We don't really, it's sort of just sideways and then a quick drop off, test of this level, sat on this level for a long time. Test, we just bounced around, we tried to break through, we've come down, we've broken through, now we've tested and sort of rejected that level now. So it looks like we are moving to the downside on ADA. Although the trend, look, the trend is there. It's not the best trend, so I won't use it as an example in any future videos, but you know, we've got a lower low, lower high, looks like we're forming a lower low again. So if we go down these time frames, do we have any nice price action, any pullbacks into that key cradle zone? Not really. It's a bit sideways through here, and then again just a break like we saw back here, just a break up and then a sort of sideways breakdown. So it's we do have some strategies out there to sort of help predict these breaks, but yeah, it's a bit hard to trade this at the moment. Yeah, I'd be more inclined to go short on ADA, but it's yeah, the trend's not really there. So to be honest, I'd probably be steering clear of ADA and focusing on the other coins that are moving. Yeah, the 1 hour's the same. So Solana, again, not that much data on Solana on the weekly chart, so we can't say much about that. What do we have? The daily looks a bit better. So we started to get a trend forming, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. And then we sort of got a pullback, but it didn't really give us anything in there, did it? It was convergent through the series of higher highs, which is good. But at the moment, it's sort of broken through, created a lower high, and now a lower low, again, a lower high. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some more selling of Solana. Yeah, so on the daily, there's nothing really there. 4 hours even worse, very sideways, very messy. Again, I'd be steering clear of this. It's just the sort of the last week, maybe the last 2 weeks, it's been very hard trading conditions. If you are trading those conditions and you've done well, if you can put your sort of your hand on your heart and say, look, I've taken good trades, I've met my checklist, like I'm happy, and you've ended up very profitable, then well done to you. But I've been sitting on the sideline and just waiting for nice direction to come in. The 1 hour is a little bit of a level forming, but not really. It's, yeah, no real trend again. Yeah, it's very sideways on Solana. So yeah, if you're looking at it, if the weekly has no trend, the daily's messy, and then the lower you get, there's no trend, then geez, it's hard to trade those markets. Binance. What do we have here? No questions at the moment. Awesome. All right, Binance weekly, strong weekly charts. High, 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 low, high, high. Are we pulling back to create that high low? I really hope so. Where are we going to pull back to? A nice clear pullback on that level would have been great. We touched it. In some of our video content, we do have how to plot longer term holds for investments. I dare say that would have been a key level for me. So anyone that did buy there, you probably would have got a feel about there. Yes, you'd be about $13% in profit by now. I didn't take that, but good luck to anyone that did, or well done to anyone that did. So Binance weekly was very strong uptrend. Daily, we've sort of got that lower high forming, a lower low. Lower high, would I call that a higher low? Probably not. I don't really count one candles. If it breaks the high of this candle, then yeah. But at the moment, it's a little bit sideways for me on the daily. And the 4 hour, high, 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 low. An equal high. So again, the trend just isn't really there on the 4. And the daily just gets, the 1 hour is just very messy and sideways. It's very choppy, very spiky. It's just, yeah, it's not great. So Binance, it's just not there for me. Anyone that's new to trading crypto, like the conditions aren't always like this. If you've just started sort of in the last month or so, then if you can get through conditions like this, trust me, they do get better. There's some great trading conditions that will come. I'm really hoping they start end of this month, next month into next year. And I really hope it's to the upside and we get some nice trends forming, so you can put your newfound knowledge into practice. Litecoin on the weekly is trending, right? So we've got a high, 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 low, high, high. We're pulling back. So the daily, the trend was forming, and then we just got a big break and then a big sell-off again. So again, the daily sort of ruined. It doesn't have a trend of high highs and high lows. And the 4 hours the same, big sell-off. We're waiting for some nice selling opportunities here, waiting for nice pullbacks, but we just didn't get that. If you did get that, then yeah, the trend's not that great and it just went against you anyway. So yeah, there's not really anything on this 4 hour, and same as the 1. Look, I'd love to be doing videos like this, pointing out numerous trading opportunities and this and that, but I wouldn't like to walk away from this and say, yeah, there's heaps of trading opportunities, because in all honesty, I haven't been trading the last few days just because the conditions have been bad. I love sitting on the sideline. I'm almost more excited to be sitting on the sideline, because I know it's a really hard thing to do, to watch markets move, and you get sort of FOMO as well. But you as a good trader, you need to know when to sit on the sideline and need to know when the trends do come in, that you know what you're doing and you can bank that profit, and you're not risking your capital through crappy market conditions. So 1 hour on Litecoin, nothing really. Dots on the weekly. Again, another one with a solid weekly trend. How are we looking on this daily? Again, this level, support resistance level, like it's very important to be plotting your support resistance lines, or at least know how to identify them. As you can see, like they just test. Now it's sitting on this level. What's it going to do? Who knows? But if we look at this 2 day, are we going to see a pullback? Not really. Sort of just broke through, pulled back, sitting on that level. The MACD looks very sad. So what would my plan be? I would probably be more open to go short on this, just because the daily does look very bearish. If we have a look at the 4 hour, the 4 hour's very sideways. Like if you look at this range, right, it's just moved sideways since the 16th of November. So almost 10 days it's moved basically sideways. And to make money in trading, you need direction. You need it to move. And overall, this is just moving sideways. So it's a skip for me. Right, Avax weekly. Yeah, Bobby, it's hard to have patience with me anyway. I learned that lesson this week. I lost a few trades and really broke. Yeah, like there's so many lessons that need to be learnt in trading, and unfortunately, you need to learn those the hard way. Knowing when to sit on the sideline is very hard. Being comfortable when the market crashes, or when you wake up day in, day out and there's just red in the market. Like, you need to be confident and comfortable in those conditions. I used to hate it. I used to hate waking up seeing red through the markets. It was very uncomfortable. I just loved to trade. And over time, I think you get more comfortable with seeing red, because you know that you know what you're doing. And the more the market falls, the better opportunities are going to show up, especially for your longer term holds. And you know that when the market does turn and starts going, in a bullish direction, then the chances of you getting a nice runner are a lot higher the further the market falls. So I just think about things like that, and it just makes me more comfortable and almost happier to see a red in the market. Not saying it's not good to wake up to a lot of green, but when there is a lot of red in the market, then yeah, I'm very happy. I know that I've got capital sitting on the sideline waiting to buy into those really good projects that I've had my eyes on for a long time. And now, guess what? It's Black Friday, even the crypto market's on sale. So why not jump in? Avax Daily. Let's have a look. The weeklies, there's not that much data. So the daily is looking very bullish. High highs, high lows, right? We've had a nice push up over the last few days. A pullback on Avax would be welcome. The 4 hour is a bit ruined. 12 hour, if we're getting a nice pullback, the moving averages are good. The MACD's good. The 4 hour, we've got a lower high there on the 4 hour, so that's sort of steering me away from going long. And I dare say these lower time frames are going to be in a downtrend. So these are sort of things that you have to consider when you're trading. If you like focusing on these lower time frames, you look at the 15 and the 30, they're in a strong downtrend. You say, oh look, on the 30-minute chart, the market's tanking, right? It looks like it's tanking. It's going down, so I'm going to go short. But if you zoom out and look in this daily time frame, do you really think you're going to get a runner? Like, you could, but since October this year, it's been majority green. It's gone up heaps. So going short, I don't try and pick the top, and I don't try and pick the bottom. I just like to take a chunk in the middle, and to do that, you just trade with these higher time frames. Generally trade in those directions, and if you can get a trade on these lower time frames in the same direction, then the probabilities are very high. So Avax, nothing there. And finally, Tron on the weekly. There is not much data on the weekly. The daily is very spiky, very sideways, but we did start to get some bullish momentum. We've pulled back. It's a bit hard to plot any levels in here with it so spiky and so messy. I love to plot my levels because sometimes I get a little bit carried away with, say, a cradle setup, and I don't see that there's resistance ahead or something. So it's pretty hard to hit your targets when you've got a strong level of resistance up ahead. There's probably a bit of a level here, just because we have touched a few times on this daily, sort of settled around that area, but it's not the best level. But yeah, on the daily, on Tron, we've got a lower low, lower high. Now it's just waiting to see what it does. On this 4 hour, very sideways. 1 hour is going to be the same. It's going to be very messy, very sideways. So not ideal trading conditions. Unfortunately, that's the list for today, or that's the top 10 list. Like I said before, I'd love to be going, there's trading opportunities here, and that time will come when the market decides what it's doing and we get some direction to come back. But yeah, at the moment, I think it's just a waiting game. It's time to work on your education, work on your skills, maybe do up a trading plan or something. And yeah, just prepare yourself for when the market does move and we get a good momentum to the upside or the downside. We can short the market as well. So All right, questions. Hey Tyson, how you doing? Should we no trade since the 5th of the 11th until yesterday, Cradle and Crow first runner? Oh mate, that's awesome. Crypto.com has been having an absolute run, which has been brilliant for anyone that holds that token. I think they bought the rights to a stadium in the US or something, so their advertising is going through the roof, and I dare say people are seeing that, people are buying up the tokens, and the prices, had a really good run. So well done for being able to sit on the sideline for that long. A lot of people don't have the patience to do that, but yeah, well done. And this is exactly what we've been talking about. You can sit on the sideline and save your capital, and then when the market starts moving, you find that opportunity, you just jump in, and yeah, you might get a really good runner like you have on Crow, and you could be sitting at a 10-to-1 trade or something in a day. So it makes it all worth it. But yeah, it's a hard skill to know, or a hard lesson to learn, is to know when to sit on the sideline and when to just sit out and let the market have some direction. All right. No further questions. If there is, you can quickly type them in that comment box and I'll answer them. But yeah, at tradercobb, we've got a Black Friday sale on at the moment. So if you are interested in the courses, there's 45% off. That's almost half price. So they're really cheap. If you are doing the webinar as well, or if you are interested in the webinar that we're doing for Bybit, then yeah, the link is in the comments box. Just click that link, fill in your details, and yeah, we'll see you Monday night for I think it's the 3rd installment of the 4-part series. All right, that's it. Thanks guys. I'll chat to you soon.